In my last post, I mentioned how I'm putting the anxiety hacks I wrote about recently to the test. So here's the explanation as to how. Yep, I'm moving today. Okay, so little context for those of you who don't know my story. I grew up in Michigan and spent all but 3 years that we were expats in London of my adult life outside of Chicago. After exactly 25 years of marriage and of being a stay-at-home mom, I divorced, empty nested, and sold the house where I raised my boys, packed up, and moved to San Diego where I didn't know anyone. I needed the sun, sand, ocean air, palm trees, amazing weather, and mountainous skyline to ground myself, heal, and figure out who the heck I am as an individual. Well, fast forward 4 years, and I have not only accomplished all that I set out to, but much, much more. It's funny when you quiet the noise of others and truly connect with your innate self, let judgments go, and use your strengths as a guide to build emotional intelligence, how much confidence you find that has been buried deep inside. Along with building a business of my own, this confidence led me to an amazing relationship that is now taking on a new chapter in the great state of Ohio. So let's talk about anxiety, because boy, is this move challenging my emotions. I never knew I struggled with anxiety until I was going through all of the above changes that led me to California, which, by the way, all took place in a 2-year window. As a wife and mom, I was always so used to feeling worried about my family. But once I was in the spotlight, it turned into full-on anxiety sprinkled with a few panic attacks as well. I'm continually mindful of relying on a variety of tools to help keep in control of letting it control me, especially when making big decisions, such as putting my faith into building a business and deciding to move back to the cold, gray Midwest. Here are the ways the 2 hacks I posted about come into play. I put a quick stop to referring to my anxiety whenever I was feeling uncomfortable. I realized that when I owned it, it showed up much more. But when I refer to it as something that occurs like all the other feelings and emotions, it's just something I experience. This lack of ownership sets a boundary so that it doesn't become part of my identity, therefore part of me. I can separate myself from it easier and therefore process and move on. And take it a step further. When I recognize feeling anxious, I ask myself if this is a situation that I could instead assign excitement to the feeling. Anxiety shows up when we're uncertain about the future. So instead of automatically viewing that uncertainty as negative or dwelling on what could go wrong, why not shift the mindset to viewing that uncertainty as positive and focus on what could go right? It's a simple shift in perspective brought on by controlling that voice inside our head and quieting the noise around us. So, with this move, if I drop down into my bottom strengths by overthinking, comparing, analyzing, or viewing the move as failing or going backwards, I would be an anxious mess at this point. Instead, I'm choosing to use my top strengths by focusing on all the new people I get to meet, concentrating on the unique attributes of the area where we're moving to, focusing on the fact that the move is solving a problem, making a plan yet relying on my ability to go with the flow and adapt to change, and most importantly, staying positive. With this top strengths mindset, I've been able to turn anxiety into excitement while feeling all the feels of the mixed emotions that come with life-impacting transitions. So, the next time you're feeling anxious, I hope these help you as well. Thanks, guys, and have a great day. I'll be in touch from Ohio.